Canelo Alvarez cripples, decimates, brutally knocks out Sergey the Crusher Kovalev with a right hand in the 11th round. On my scorecards, I had Canelo behind, trailing, needing a knockout to win on my scorecards, but you may beg to differ. This is MSLB, Mark Sterling's Boxing. Let's break it down. So, the fights finished a few hours ago. I was in Birmingham at my cousin Troy's fancy dress party, hence the Iron Man suit. Drove back, got back to Bristol about 3 o'clock. Went to Mum's yard, fell asleep on the sofa. Woke up. When I woke up, it was the third round. So the third round had gone. Made a cup of tea. Watched the fight from the fourth round onwards. And what I saw was Kovalev ahead, just tippy-tapping, jabbing away. Canelo landing odd left hooks and right hooks to the body, but working very slow. And I had this Kovalev just literally just controlling the fight, winning the fight on scoring rather than hurting Canelo. Just like tippy-tap jabs. Canelo's punches were more hurtful, but he wasn't throwing enough of them for him to win the rounds. Watch the fight again straight after, from round 1 to round 12, and we'll kind of get into it from there. So I basically, I'll just cover it real brief, so I'm not going to go over every single round. I had round 1, could have been scored even. I had 2, 3, 4, 5 to Kovalev. I gave 6 to Canelo. I think that's when he kind of got into the fight. I think, top of my head, I gave 7, 8, 9 to Kovalev. I gave a 10th round to Canelo. And obviously the 11th round was a knockout. So I had Canelo needing a knockout to win. The theme of the fight for me was Kovalev is scoring. He's throwing really light jabs, tippy tapping, just scoring. Canelo is throwing the harder shots, but he's not going all out. I think what I noticed was, from Canelo's point of view, he's gone up in weight. He's gone up from 160 pounds to 175 pounds. He's got to carry more weight to sort of like and try and be the same fighter. Maybe he didn't have the energy levels or the speed and agility to be his normal self, because he was a little bit slow on his feet, and I had him missing quite a few leaping left hooks to the head. His body shots were more effective for him. From Kovalev's point of view, as far as like how he boxed, he looked alright. I mean, he didn't look like he was trying to end the fight and hurt Canelo. He looked like he was trying to maybe just outpoint him, and maybe in the later rounds, if Canelo tires because it's his first time at this higher weight, then he might put more oomph in his punches. In this fight, and in his last few fights, to be fair, Kovalev isn't that puncher anymore. He's not that guy who hits you and just wipes you out. He's obviously older. He's been knocked out a few times, and he's not interested in getting full pivot and staying there. He's just tip-tapping away. And from a boxing purist point of view, it looked alright, and it was close to winning the fight from my point of view. I noticed, was it round 6? No, round 8. Canelo really tired. So looking at like the body language of the fight, it was sort of like Canelo's taking his time to get into it and he's going to step at the gas. But in round 8, for some reason, it was about a minute and 11 seconds left. Canelo tired, and he started to back off for the first time in the round. So he started to back off from Kovalev and work on his back foot like he did in the first fight against Golovkin. Now, in my opinion, that's when Kovalev should have punished him a bit for that. You're tired. You showed me you're tired, so I'm gonna hurt you while you're tired and keep you in the manners. Kovalev didn't do that. He just chased him a little bit and carried on throwing pick-a-pat shots. I think that Canelo was still tired in round 9, and I think he got his second win in round 10. Now, I'm not sure what Kovalev could have done to win the fight. I think just maybe being more alert in round 11, and maybe mixing his power a bit. So he's just throwing tippy-tap shots. I'm seeing nothing with no power. Maybe he threw the odd power shots so that Canelo didn't know what to expect. Also, it took Kovalev a while to land his right hand in the fight. It took him a few rounds. So that didn't help him. He was just literally just landing jabs. So it's jabs. So I did have him ahead and scoring, but there wasn't much variety from him other than, jab, odd left hook to the body, or short left hook. But, could have varied his punches a bit more. From Canelo's point of view, because I had him behind, I kind of thought that he looked kind of predictable. Like, he wasn't throwing a lot of punches, and what he was throwing was mainly hooks. Now, the body shots were working well for him. They didn't seem to be hurting Kovalev, but they looked a lot harder. So if you'd have thrown more of those shots in the earlier rounds, you'd have gave him the round. But after round 8, when he tired, I noticed he started to throw a lot of leaping left hooks to Kovalev's head, and he missed by a mile. And I kind of thought, this ain't looking good. Like, if Kovalev's on his game, he might like go for like a late stoppage. But what Canelo did was really well. Looking back in hindsight, now that I've seen his one, he was very patient. Like, things weren't going his way, in my opinion, but he never looked discouraged. So he missed left hooks, but he didn't look discouraged. And in round 10, from what I saw, I think it's round 10, maybe his corner might have told him off, but he started to throw a straight right hand. And that kind of helped change the fight, I think, in my opinion. Knockout in round 11. So the knockout comes from, once again, Kovalev doing his tippy-tappy stuff. Not running, but just sort of like edging back from Canelo. Canelo coming forward. But what Canelo does this time, he throws a left hook, right hook. Now, the right hook, I think it lands maybe on the upper part of the body. The left hook is low, up. The right hook is a little bit higher. It might hit the head, but I don't think it did. But then after that, Canelo throws, I believe, it's a right hook on the ear. Now, you might not see that, but that sort of hurt Kovalev, and it drew him back towards Canelo's left hook. Now, Canelo's missing the left hook to the head quite a lot, but this time he lands the left hook right on the chin, and it, from what I've seen, it shakes Kovalev, but he's sort of like not out on his feet, but semi-unconscious, and then Canelo throws another right hand, and he's down, he's out. So that's how the fight ended. The beginning of round 11, what I noticed was that Canelo was throwing the right hand more, and also a short uppercut. And I think in the previous rounds, his left hooks to the body and his right hooks to the body, they were fine, but he wasn't throwing enough of them. But his left hooks to the head, as I said earlier, they were missing lots. He was a bit predictable. Not as much head movement as normal as well. But like I said before, in regards to patience, like, he was very patient, and you know, just like in football, like in the World Cup that happened last summer, you notice like a lot of goals waiting in extra time when the other team are fatigued, and this is kind of similar. Canelo waited till right until the very end of the fight to step up the gas, and I guess you could say he started in round 10 and really stepped up in round 11. And Kovalev, once he hit the floor on his knees, the ref didn't even bother counting. He counted about 3, counted it out. So well done. I guess you probably know before the fight, Kovalev didn't make weight, so it's 175 pounds. Kovalev came in, I think, like a pound overweight. So he took his clothes off, stripped him naked, and he was still like a quarter pound overweight. And then he had to go and work out to make the weight. So that might have drained him a little bit. Also, 10 weeks prior, Kovalev fought Yard. So maybe not enough rest, because Canelo's last fight was in May against Danny Jacobs. So maybe not enough rest. But I'd like to know, how did you guys score the fight? Because I didn't score the fight, but I had Canelo winning about 3 rounds, you know, at that point. Maybe 2 rounds at that point, and he would have won the 11th round if he hadn't knocked out Kovalev, more than likely. So how did you score it? I believe that the scorecards and I think the Ring Magazine website, they had Canelo up, which I was surprised. I checked on ESPN's website, and they had Kovalev up 97-94. So that's interesting. After the fight, Kovalev said he's not going to retire. He just said that, you know, Canelo was a bit fresher than me, and he's going to unify the belts still. And Canelo said that you know, he may stay at 175. He didn't seem too keen to fight Golovkin again. I believe the Zone, Canelo's network, they want the Golovkin-Canelo trilogy fight. They've both signed, you know, the Zone have signed Canelo and Golovkin, I think, with the intent that they're going to fight each other. So we'll see how that works out. But yeah, credit to Canelo. You know, according to the Ring website, I just checked just now, he's the 4th fighter to go from light middleweight to light heavyweight and win a title. So before, you've only got Thomas Hearns, Sugar Ray Leonard, and Mike McCallum. So he joins that class as the 4th guy. So he's made a bit of history there. Let's have a look at who we can fight. So in his division, at 160 at middleweight, Canelo is the Ring Magazine champion, the IBF and WBA champion, according to the Ring website. Golovkin is the IBF and WBC champion. So Golovkin is number 1 with the Ring Magazine. Canelo and Golovkin both hold the IBF belts. I'm assuming that one has an interim belt and one is a super champion. This is annoying and quite confusing in boxing, because they're giving, you know, the same belt to two different opponents in the same division. One's a higher champion, one's the interim champion. This makes it confusing, man. Daniel Jacobs number 2, but he's already fought him, so that's not going to happen. Demetrius Andrade, he's on the same network as Canelo. He's the WBO champion. And then we have Jamal Charlo, once again WBC champion, like Golovkin, confused, whatever. He has a belt also. That fight might be hard to make because Charlo is he's managed by Al Heyman, who's with the PBC, while Andrade, who I mentioned prior, he is on the same network as Canelo. So that fight might be easier to make. And then we have Sergey Derechenko, who just lost to Golovkin a few weeks ago. So that's probably a potential fight as well. And then Derechenko is number 5 in the Ring Magazine website. And then number 6, 7, 8, probably not really worth talking about. I don't know much about them other than David Lemieux, and Lemieux's, I think he's a bit past it. So that's who we could fight at middleweight. At super middleweight, there's a Callum Smith fight. Would he want that? Would he stay at light heavyweight? I don't think he would, because you've got Bivol and Bertibiev there, and they're probably going to give him a lot more of a harder time than Kovalev. Maybe he might want to fight Jean Pascal if Pascal gets past Badou Jack in December. But hey, who knows? Interesting. Canelo paid 35 million for this fight, so big money. And Kovalev, I believe, made around 12 million. Anyhow, that's all there is to cover. Thursday coming, we got Inoue the Monster fighting Nonito Donaire. So that's a big fight. That's for the final of the WBSS Super Tournament. And then next weekend we got the KSI Logan Paul fight, which is going to be a big thing if you're fans of them because they've got a massive audience. But you've also got what's the young kid's name again? Devin Haney and Billy Joe Saunders on the undercard fighting different opponents. I forgot to mention Billy Joe Saunders as well is another potential opponent for Canelo Alvarez. I guess that Canelo's next fight will probably be on May, which is Cinco de Mayo, a Mexican holiday. So who will he pick to fight? Anyhow, just let me know. Please comment below. How did you score the fight? I had Kovalev ahead. And how did you score it? And who do you think Canelo should or will fight next? Alright, this is MSLB, Mark Sternler's Boxing. Stay tuned. Be back at you soon. Bye-bye. Bless.